guys for watching. This is going to be the review of Scandal Season 3, Episode 3. I'm in a different location because it's a little late and the lighting sucks in my house once the sun goes down, so we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. So the show starts off with Olivia looking for Huck. She calls him, she's like, you know, where are you? He's like, I need some time, okay? I just need some time. I can't deal with this right now. And he's telling Olivia's dad. Of course, he's mad. He's mad that Olivia's dad is commander, and he decides that he is going to kill him. So he's following him around, and he has his gun clocked, loaded, and ready. He's about to shoot him in broad daylight. There's a silencer on the end of the gun, and he was about to shoot him. He went to pull the gun up like this, and then Olivia's dad stopped to take a phone call. And Hulk couldn't do it, so he just kept on going. Olivia tells her staff, look, Huck is taking a personal day. They're like, we get personal days? I'm sorry, what? When did that happen? When did that start? Do I get vacation time too? Olivia, of course, is covering for him. She's like, don't ask any more questions. Let's get to it. Proceeded to her office, and there's a client in her office. The client is talking about how she wants to be represented because she has this feeling that her son was murdered in cold blood for no reason and that the government is behind it. She gives a check that they later look into, and they're very, very suspicious about this check because it's a specific amount. Like, it's like $20,868.22. I don't know the exact amount, but it's very specific like that. So they're saying, you know, we thought that was kind of specific, so we looked into it. Come to find out, it's the exact amount that was in her bank account 2 days before she arrived there. So she cleared out her bank account to pay them for their services. So that gets Olivia, you know, kind of riled up, and she's like, well, where did she say she was going? And she said she was going to the Capitol, so Olivia goes to the Capitol. Cyrus is trying to get Millie and Fitz to go away to Camp David. He's like, look, you guys are going to take a lot of pictures. We're going to show the American public that you guys are working on your marriage. Millie's like, I don't want to get stuck up there with him. He's like, I don't want to get stuck up there with her. They're fighting like a bunch of teenagers. They're fighting like brother and sister, actually. I'm really confused because I'm thinking Millie is always upset. She's so upset that he loves Olivia. She's so upset about how he feels about Olivia. But right now, she's like really just arguing with him. They're arguing about the baby. They're arguing like two kids. Okay? They show the scene at the White House where this man is basically suspicious. He's running around looking for the president. The Secret Service agent calls him and says, hello, sir. When he doesn't respond, they know that he's up to something, and they go ahead and chase him. At the same time this is going on, Olivia gets to the Capitol, and she sees this woman, her client, talking to a member of Congress, his staff, and she turns around. She's surprised to see Olivia, but she has a bomb strapped to her chest, and she's ready to press the button. She basically says that she's written all kinds of people, and she's trying to find out what happened to her son. There's a classified file that they will not open, and they will not release the details, and she's saying she's not going anywhere until she finds out what happened, and we will all blow up if she does not find out what happened. She picks Olivia to represent her since Olivia is there anyway, and she is her representation. And she says, you know what, you can negotiate with the FBI, who has now arrived, and trying to figure out what she wants. Olivia tells them what she wants. She wants to find out what happened to her son. They're saying, you know what, we can work on that, but we can't promise you anything. The woman is like, well, if you can't promise that, I can't promise that we'll walk out of here alive. I don't really care who's in this office. I will blow it up. The negotiation goes back and forth. Olivia tricks the woman into thinking that they said, you know what, we'll give you the information if you release the hostages. They didn't really say that. They said, if you turn yourself in, we'll give you the information, but not anything else we won't accept. There's a no deal. But she goes ahead and releases the congressman's staff. So she shows good faith, as Olivia calls it, and releases everybody, except the congressman and Olivia herself. They get the okay from the president. Listen, if you see her, go ahead and take a shot. I don't know what's going on, but we don't negotiate with terrorists. Anybody that studies politics or has studied politics, you know that the United States does not negotiate with terrorists. She is now considered a terrorist because she walked into the Capitol and she's holding people hostage. We don't negotiate at all. Well, when they get a clear shot on her, you can kind of see the laser from the gun, and Olivia runs up to the window and says, you know what? No, move out the way. And she draws the blind and she makes it known that it's me, don't shoot, you know. And now the president now knows that Olivia is in there. So of course Fitz is freaking out. He's like, no one better not shoot. No one does anything. I don't care. And of course he wants to speak to Olivia. Well, Cyrus is like, listen, you're not speaking to Olivia. I don't care what's going on. We'll try our best not to kill the terrorist girlfriend of yours, but you're not going to headline the third week in a row with her. I'm not having it. I don't care what you do, but you're not talking to Olivia. So Fitz is like, no one makes a move unless I make the call. Olivia tells Harrison to be her eyes and ears. She says, go outside, see what's going on. I want to know everything that's happening. She tells Quinn to try to hack into the FBI file, and she tells Abby to go see David Rosen and see what she can do there. Abby is at David Rosen's office. She's trying to say, listen, I need you to get this file. David Rosen's like, look, your boss obviously has like a death wish, and she's obviously messed up everything. She makes more problems than she actually fixes. So you know what? Let me know when the funeral services are. This will be fun. I can people watch. Like, he's being very, very cold, but you can tell he cares for Olivia. Abby's like, you obviously care for her. Let me know what's going on. David's like, you know what, my boss, you know, the attorney general, he really doesn't like when I go aiding and abetting terrorists and all that kind of thing. You know, go figure, I could get fired, you know. So he's like being smart and sarcastic, but he's refusing to help Abby. Quinn cannot hack into the FBI wall. She's good, but she's not that good. She is looking for Hulk. Quinn can't get in touch with Hulk. She's begging Hulk for his assistance. She's like, look, I can't do this by myself. Hulk's not answering, of course, because he's still tailing Olivia's dad. Harrison, while he's being the eyes and ears, he finds out that the president's actually authorized the shooting for the woman that's in the office with the bomb. He lets Olivia know the president's behind this. So Olivia calls Jake to call the president. When the president gets the phone call and gets urged out of the office by the Secret Service agent, he of course thinks he's talking to Olivia. Jake's like, no, it's me. She needs to know what's in the file. And he's like, listen, I'm sorry you can't save the day, but we don't negotiate with terrorists. I don't care. Of course, if he was speaking to Olivia, he probably would have given her information, but he refuses to let Jake be the one to save the day. You can kind of see he has a little jealousy on that end. Really, Olivia? Really? You're going to have Jake call me? Really, Olivia? Really? He's in his feelings about that. You can kind of see it. While Harrison is outside, there's an FBI agent that comes to him and shows him a video of the man that was killed. It's the woman's son, and he is now recruiting people into Al-Qaeda. He has penetrated Al-Qaeda at the highest level. He is now able to recruit people. So she's like, your boss needs to know you guys are on the wrong side of this. Like, I don't know what you think is going on, but he was a terrorist, so you need to tell her that. Harrison sees her go into a car. So he's like, I guess thinking, I know you didn't just come to tell me that and now you leave. Like, I'm not the only source of business, of course, that you have going on here. So he gets suspicious. He tells Olivia what he's found. You know, he's like, look, I'm sorry, you have to tell her, like, he really was a terrorist. Olivia keeps that information to herself, but in the meantime, Harrison is suspicious because the woman just comes and then tells him that and leaves. So he says, Abby, are you still at the office? Abby's like, yes. He's like, well, look into this agent. Abby goes back up. Malibu Abby. You know, that's Abby to me. She's like Malibu Barbie. She has like her new makeover, hair done, makeup done, Botox done. Something's going on with Abby. But anyway, she goes up to David Rosen's office and says, at least can you do this? And he's like, well, you know, what are you going to do for me? And she's like, do you want dinner that badly? And he's like, not anymore, whatever. And looks up the FBI agent and says, look, this person doesn't exist. They don't exist now. They never existed. They're not an FBI agent. So that sets off the alarm that the FBI agent was false. Harrison tells Olivia that information. And in the meantime, David Rosen goes to see Cyrus. He's like, Cyrus, I need to know what's going on. Cyrus like, sweetie, I gave you a job. You sit in that cute little office of yours, and that's where your obligation ends. You don't come in here and tell me what you're not going to do and what you need. David Rosen proceeds to say, okay, well, you want to be like that, and starts to name off people. He names off the lead person that headed the ambush. He also names off the other agents that were with them. He knows that the person that led the ambush was fired and that the other people that were part of the team were given increases and raises. So he's like, well, were there FBI agents that were paid off for bringing a terrorist down, or were FBI agents paid to keep their mouth shut and the person that led it was fired because he made a mistake? You tell me which one is it, but that lets Cyrus know he can't just write David Rosen off as some little puppy or some little puppet, because it's not going down like that. The president now calls Olivia and says, look, I need to tell you something. You're right, she's right. Her son was a CIA agent. He infiltrated Al-Qaeda. He got to the highest level. He got 57 other recruits in there. But you know what? You can't tell her that because they're still in there. So 57 other lives depend on it, and 10 years of intelligence will die with them when it's found out that he was a CIA agent. They will be tortured and then they will die. So you need to understand that she can't know. And this is sad that she won't know that her son is actually a hero to America and a martyr to Al-Qaeda. She needs to think that he was a terrorist. I'm sorry, but you can't tell her. Do I make myself clear? Olivia's like, no, but thank you for the truth, Mr. President. The president's like, I'm sorry, what? What do you mean, no? I'm sorry, what? Olivia Pope, don't hang up. And she's like, thank you for the truth, and hangs up. Because, you know, Olivia does the entire hell what she wants to do when it comes to Fitz. Like, please, Fitz, you can't tell Olivia what to do. Whatever. Olivia does tell the woman that her son was in fact a terrorist. So she lies. She lies. I guess she realizes that the 57 lives that are still at stake right now, the 57 people that need to come home with the information that they've, you know, invested years and years in, their lives aren't worth this one woman's truth about her son. So the woman proceeds to release everybody, and she pretends as if she's going to turn herself in, but she pushes them out the door and she blows herself up, and the whole room goes, you know, kaput, and that's the end of her life. Olivia is okay, but the president doesn't know this yet. So when he sees the screen go black, he's like, give me a status update, give me a status update, give me a status update. He doesn't know she's okay, but you know, of course she is okay. Fitz gets home. Millie's at the dining room table. She's having a drink, and she's obviously tipsy. And Fitz is like, you're drunk. And she's like, no, I'm not drunk. I'm celebrating. He's like, yes, you are drunk. She's like, a lady never gets drunk, okay? I'm celebrating. He's like, Millie, you're drunk. She's like, okay, well, whatever, I'm drunk. Do you want to have sex? How many people you think have had sex on this table? Do you want to have sex? Do you want to have sex with me? Because, you know, if you had sex with anybody else, this table would have to be burned. It's like, well, what do you want to celebrate? Olivia, you know, she didn't die. She didn't blow herself up today. Isn't that what you wanted? And Millie's like, sweetie, let's get this clear, okay? Olivia is your Achilles heel. She's your weakness. So as long as she lives to walk this earth, she's my weapon. She's the strings that I can pull to make my puppet husband dance if need be. So let's not mix words. If Olivia had died today, defending a congressman, the nails in the coffin would have been made of gold, and you would be praising Saint Olivia Pope. So let's make it clear that I am very, very happy that she still lives, because as long as she's alive, I still win. This war that we're at, I still win. So right there, Millie says it. I was thinking, even from last season, they're at war. It's Millie and Fitz. I think I said this in one of my other reviews. Well, she admits it. We're in war, and if she died, then I lose. So Millie doesn't want that. Drunk Millie, everybody loved. I mean, if you were on Twitter when Scandal was happening, people were going crazy. They're like, yes, drunk Millie. Yes, drunk Millie. I guess people like that. I don't know. Quinn gets to Olivia and says, you know, I haven't been able to find Hulk, but I have found out that Hulk is obsessed with your dad. He wants to find everything that your dad does, everywhere he goes. He's been researching him. So Olivia knows Hulk wants to get revenge. Olivia goes to her office. Hulk is there. She's like, tell me you didn't kill my father, Hulk. Tell me you didn't kill my father. Tell me you didn't kill my father, Hulk. And I'm thinking, wait, that would probably be a good thing. He's making your life miserable, and he's tormenting and torturing people that you love and that you care about. If he died, that might not be so bad. Now, personally, I like Daddy Pope. But what I'm saying is, if I was Olivia, I might not think that that was such a bad thing. But, you know, little girls love their dad. You know how that goes. Hulk says no. I couldn't kill him. He still has control over me. What happened was the man that was in the White House was under Daddy Pope. So he wanted to tell the president about what was going on. Daddy Pope is trying to pay him off. He's like, you know what? You can find the payment that you gave me last week. I can't be paid off for this. I want to talk to the president. I'm tired of them talking about the secretaries and their affairs and everything that's going on. They need to know about this. Well, Daddy Pope says, you know what? This can't happen. So when Huck approaches him with the gun, he's like, you're getting really, really sloppy. I saw you telling me from this morning. Go in there and finish that job. I got them all set up for you. He basically had the guy in handcuffs. Huck said, look, I'm going to write you a nice little suicide note. I promise it's going to be beautiful, but I am going to kill you. So Daddy Pope needed that situation handled, and after all this time and all these years, Huck is still under his power. Olivia gets to her apartment, and she's like, Jake, why are you still here? And Jake is like, I'm sorry, I thought it was cool. I'll go. You know, I thought we were cool. I thought we were hanging out. I thought you wanted me here. And she's like, not that. How are you here? Jake is like, look, they released me. I didn't ask any questions, okay? I don't know why I'm here. Olivia's like, well, if you're still here, he needs you and he's going to use you. He's going to use you against me. He's going to use you to spy on me. I don't really know what he's going to use you for, but he's still going to use you. And Jake's like, Olivia, I would never. He's like, stop. You know, it's okay because I'm still under his control too. You guys know Olivia. She's like queen drama. So that's how the episode ends. Thank you guys so much for watching this review. I hope that this was entertaining. I hope that it cleared up a couple things that maybe people were maybe a little bit confused by. I'll see you guys next week. I'll see you from a different location. I will be out of town, so you will see a different location. You should get the review from New York City next week. So see you guys next video. Thank you.